get it going. And Dale, it should take probably about maybe 30 minutes, maybe less. All right. So this is going to be your violations class. This is going to go over your civil, your criminal, and your administrative. With the taxi emoji, can anyone tell me what 1.1, which is the capture of state institutes, what would be considered a state institute? Dale. Correct. This charge is used when a civilian or group of civilians take over a state institution such as military base, PD, hospital, or any state institution. All right, 1.2, taking power by force. Pep, what would that entail to?
Uh, that's not when somebody takes something by force.
Yes, there's a little more to it. So it's taking control or authority through unlawful means, often including violence or intimidation.
All right, sir.
All right, 1.3, taking hostages or kidnapping. Dale. What would the reason why you would want to um, have either a hostage or a kidnapping? Like, what are you trying to get out of it? Okay. Taking or holding a civilian as security for fulfillment of a condition. So, like you said, money. Taking a person against their will and holding them captive. These next two ones is going to be a 1.4 and a 1.8. There is a difference between those ones as well. You know, can someone tell me what a 1.4 is?
Fatal collision with a pedestrians.
So when would you be able to charge somebody with a 1.4?
That'd be when a vehicle hits somebody with hit a pedestrian.
Correct. When a civilian dies from being struck by a car. Now, the other one is a 1.8, and I'll go over that one real quick. A 1.8 collision with a pedestrian. When a vehicle driven by a civilian makes contact with any pedestrian person on foot and does not die, this charge can be applied. This does not apply if the suspect hits a vehicle. So, with that being said, so you are out at HP and you actually see somebody hit somebody or VDMing them and they die, then you can hit them with a 1.4. If you witness that person VDM somebody and they do not die because of it, you cannot charge them with a 1.4, but you can hit them with a 1.8. All right, 1.5, attempted theft. Dale. Correct. This charge applies when a civilian does /try to steal and fails. So you are out at HP, which is a very known hotspot, and you see in the chat that somebody did a /try to steal Pep's wallet or Pep's food, and it fails. You can actually charge that person with a 1.5. 1.6, robbery of a police officer, Pep.
Is that when somebody will rob an officer?
Correct. So when a civilian does a /try, it's just like with a civilian. At this time, it'd be with an officer. Steal something from a police officer and is successful, or do steal something from a police officer. So what basically the same thing as the attempted theft, that they do the / tries to steal Pep's soda or Pep's food out of or for steal something from you, you can hit them with a 1.6. 1.7, uncoordinated entry onto a territory protected by the law. Dale. Yeah, it's 1.7, uncoordinated entry onto territory protected by law. So what would be considered protected by law? Correct. A civilian trespassing on a territory. If a civilian is asked to leave and refuses to do so, the civilian is now trespassing from the area. This includes HP, PD, and military base. We already went over that one. 1.9, discharging a weapon in a public place. Pat.
Is that one when somebody fire a firearm in a public place?
Yeah, so that one is also that charge is also used for multiple reasons. One state is a concealed carry only. No civilian is to open carry. 1.9 can be applied to any civilian open carrying in public. Discharge is not solely for discharging a weapon. So with that being said, you're driving down the road doing your normal patrol and you see a civilian with their weapon out, you can actually charge them with a 1.9. And if they question you about it, well, I didn't discharge no weapon. Well, one state is a concealed carry state, and unfortunately, it does follow under a 1.9. All right, 110, bribing a police officer, Dale. Okay. Offering or giving something of value, favors, money, gifts, etc., in hopes and persuades of officer's decision or actions. 111, murder of a civilian or police officer. Pat.
When an officer or a civilian die, when they get murdered by someone.
Okay, so this charge is an automatic charge, and pay close attention here, okay? Because this will save you. This charge is an automatic charge that applies in white zones, neutral. This charge is only applied to a suspect if you witness a civilian or a police officer being murdered in a red or green zone. If you look over your 4 boxes for your macro button, you'll see a triangle that looks like no guns and a green. We are considered in a green zone. The next one would be a red zone, which would be the gang area. Only in the red zone or a green zone are you allowed to put those the 111 or the 112 on them. The white zones, the state will automatically put the charge on them. If you put that charge on them in the white zone, that is considered double stacking or double charging. .12 assault on a police officer. I know you got to get going, so I'll go over these real quick. 112 assault on a police officer hitting. This charge is an automatic charge that applies in white zones neutral. This charge is only applied to a suspect if you witness the assault. This includes being run over by a car, shot, punched, etc. Green and red zones only. Civil 2.1 harm or damage to state property. This applies for any damages to state property, hitting, shooting a police car, tagging walls that belong to the state, running over street signs, poles, etc. 2.2 harm or damage to private property. This applies for any damages to private property, hitting, shooting civilian cars, tagging private houses, businesses, etc. 2.3 false calls to police and or emergency services, calling 911 and making false claims of emergency, or intending to mislead authorities, medics, or wasting the time of public or medic staff and PD staff. 2.4 debauchery, turning on music after being asked to turn it off, spitting in someone's face, etc. Going to the extreme for pleasure, for example, drug use, alcohol use, sexual activity, playing music after being asked to stop, unrestricted behaviors, toxic behaviors. You have a suspect in custody and he is in the back of your unit and he does /do smokes weed. You can charge him with 2.4 because it is promoting drug use, which is debauchery. 2.5 murder threats. This applies for civilian murder. If you witness a murder, you can apply this charge. This charge also includes any threats of murder. So you have a suspect in custody and Dale, you have him in custody and he's like, Dale, the next time I see you, I'm going to kill you. That is a murder threat directly right towards you. You can charge him with a 2.5. 2.6, assault on a state employee. This falls under a broad umbrella of things: harassment, bullying, unwelcome verbal misconduct, or any cursing towards one individual. Person not insulting an employee if directed at the entire faction. This is more for a personal verbal attack. If they could sit here all day long and say, you know, fuck PD, okay, well, that's not insulting you, they're insulting PD in general. They would literally have to say your name, like fuck you so and so. As long as it's verbally towards you, you can hit them with a 2.6. Extortion, demanding or receiving something of value, money, favors, etc., under threat of harm, death, or exploitation. You have a suspect in custody and you sit there and you tell that suspect, hey, if you pay me $5 million, I will let you go. And that person does pay you that $5 million and you do let him go, it is considered extortion, and that is a 2.7. 3.1, resisting arrest, initially preventing or obstructing a police officer from making an arrest by using force, running, struggling, continuously moving far, so charges can't be applied. Refusing to comply with orders, refusing to sign accept citation. You have a suspect in custody and they're running around in circles, which will hinder you from being able to put charges on them. You can actually get them in the vehicle and you could charge them with a 3.1. 3.2, disobeying a police officer, intentionally refusing or failing to comply with a lawful order or direction given by a police officer. This can include refusing to pull over, stop. This does not have to be vocal. We recommend you guys do vocal on it. Failing to provide documents, ID, information requested, refusing to sign citation, giving false names, fleeing, attempting to escape. 3.3, aiding the resist of arrest, helping a suspect avoid arrest if a civilian tasers you to help a suspect get away. It's in the way of the suspect, uses their vehicle to block you from getting to the suspect, crashes into you to make you lose control during a chase. .4, violation of traffic rules. Any offense committed while driving a vehicle. Speeding, driving on the wrong side of the road, hitting signs, poles, crashing, VDMing, running stop signs, drunk driving, etc. 3.5, assault on a civilian. This applies if you witness a civilian hitting, shooting another civilian. This includes a driver who runs over a pedestrian. 3.6, refusal to represent or present requested documents. If a suspect refuses to give you any documents, a license, gun license, vehicle specs, etc. All right, any questions? Pep, any questions?
No, sir.
All right, well, you guys have passed your violations. You can go ahead and stop your body cam and upload that.